Good morning. Hi, I'm Jules, your practical mystic, empowering you to walk your mystical path with practical feet. I empower and mentor folks to uncover their soul's purpose, to create and live a life of meaning. In particular, parents. As you may already know, I'm a single mom, and that was totally by choice. I love helping this young soul to create a life full of meaning and purpose. And one of the ways in which I do that, that is one so fun and really satisfying, is in talking and helping my child to nurture um, his dream time, his dream world. And this can be daydreams, but also I'm talking in particular about night dreams today. So, not that long ago, my son woke up in the middle of the night and came running into my bedroom and startled me. Of course, I was deeply in my own dream time, and he was weeping and shaking and snuggled up as tight as he could possibly go right back into my chest. And of course, the mama in me just was fully alert and awake, and I recognized that he had had a scary dream or a nightmare, and my instincts as mama bear was to immediately protect him from any of that. But it's really my job, and our job as parents, as conscious parents, to help our young folks and even ourselves to coach them through that, to help them to get to a place where they feel safe. So I kind of came up with a formula that I use, because this is not the first nightmare that he's had, nor it probably won't be the last, because these sometimes dream times just bring about startling and scary images and symbols. And no matter what my beliefs are in particular about the dream time and about the symbols, what matters is that my child feels safe. So the first thing I did was really just recognize, okay, this might not be the most ideal time. I might not feel like I'm operating at my highest capacity, being woken up in the middle of the night. Or maybe it's earlier in the evening when I'm in the middle of my own project, or having a glass of wine, or trying to enjoy some quiet time to myself. I'm just going to set all my feelings around this sort of interruption. I'm just going to set it aside, okay? Because this is not about me. It's not about me. And once I've recognized that and done that, and it takes just a split second to do that, then I can simply be a presence for my child. Simply be there and a source of comfort in whatever way seems best. So, for example, we love to snuggle. Not everybody's or snuggly, but you can simply be there, snuggle if it seems right, just sit by the bedside, whatever the case may be, just simply being a presence while these feelings and these emotions are being worked through. Now, you might say to yourself, well, yeah, I mean, Julie, we got to do that with like everything, right? We got to just simply be the comfort and the presence, and we also have to set ourselves aside. And this is so true for so many different scenarios, and in general parenting, right? But then to compound that, to add on top of it, again, I might have my own idea of how I work with dreams to inform my life. And I might have my own idea about what particular symbols mean to me in a dream time, but that might not be helpful to my child to hear at this time in this scary moment, nor would they probably understand it at this time. So And it's my personal belief that whatever faith that I have, it's not necessarily the faith and sole purpose that my child will have. So I'm just gonna like leave it open as I possibly can, while still being a source of comfort for my young person. So I let him know that he is safe. And I use those exact words. You are safe. You are safe. It could be within your beliefs that whatever happens in the dream time is not actually real. So, but if you were to say, it's not real, it's like discounting their experience. It's like saying, whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real, doesn't matter, didn't happen, right? You don't want to give your child that impression. And the reason is because they, as young people, and you probably have your own memories of this, will struggle a lot and have already struggled quite a bit in being listened to and being believed by the adults in their world. Now, I hope that this is not true, but that tends to be the case for our world, our society, unfortunately. So this is one area where you can choose that to not do that, to just believe your child, to simply be that source of comfort in all ways. So what that might look like is letting your child express all of the emotions that they need to in that time. And it might be that they don't actually talk about what happened in the dream time, but it might be that they do. And you can simply just say, okay, yes, that sounds scary. Just acknowledge the feelings and just reiterate that they are safe. They are safe here, okay? And hold your opinions and your analyzing of the dream for another time for yourself, or whatever. Now, it's also really important to give them tools, to give them tools. Once they have gotten all of the emotions out and the feelings out, perhaps they chose to tell you about their experience in the dream time, perhaps not, and you've let them know that they are safe and the energy is kind of brought down a little bit. You might ask them you might say something like, my experience is that when we have a really big feeling, really big emotion, and this is exactly what I told my son when he was able to hear it. My experience is that when we have a really big emotion, really big feeling inside, it's like trying to tell us something. So, do you remember in the dream what that emotion was? And he said, well, I was afraid. I was very scared. And I said, yeah, okay, I hear that. Was there some place in your body, that you could feel that fear more than other places? And he said, right here. He pointed right here. I said, okay, yeah, I get that. So like the shamanic practitioner in me is going, oh my gosh, this chakra, and it means this, and also it had to do with a wolf, and that, I have all these opinions and beliefs about what wolf medicine means, but that's not the point, because it's not about me. It is about my child and giving them the tools to distill it for themselves. So he said, yeah, right here. And I was like, wow. And do you still feel that feeling inside of your body right now? And he said, yeah. And I was like, okay, all right. Wow, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So then we worked with the breath for a few minutes. And at first he didn't want to. He's tired. He just was weeping so much. And but then after he was able to kind of calm down a little bit more, he was just simply breathing. And I said, just notice And tell me if you notice that that fear, that feeling inside of you changes, or maybe it changes color or sensation, maybe it moves. And so he said, yeah, Mama, now it's up here. I said, okay, all right, yeah. And we worked with his breath for a few minutes. And then he said, okay. And I said, well, in the dream, when you felt that fear, did you feel like your body needed to move in any particular way? And he said, oh, right away. He knew the answer. He said, I wanted to run. And I said, okay, yeah. That's good information. So remember, when you feel that feeling inside of you, right here or right here, just remember that your body is trying to tell you something. And then we just let it at that. Now, we talked about a few other things in the dream, but the point is just to ask the questions that doesn't really give the answer. Like so often we ask questions. Do you want to wear the red shirt or the blue shirt today? Not, do you want to wear a shirt, right? We ask the questions that lead to the answers that we are kind of looking for. As parents, it's a skill, right? You develop that skill. But in this particular instance, it's really important to just give him the tools to navigate this time for himself. Now, the most important part is coming up, because we've been through scary dreams before in my family. And this was the first time I ever got to talk to him about the feeling in his body and his emotions around it. But another key aspect that we do for this particular scenario is to give him tools so that he feels safe. It's one thing for me to tell him you are safe. It's another thing for me to be there snuggling him so that he actually feels safe. But what if he's in a situation at a sleepover, camp later on, in his own home? He needs to be able to locate that safety within himself and to develop that muscle, that tool. So we have a little prayer that we do, or a poem, and I've shifted the words from how I used to say it when I was younger, because my word for spirit or the universe or God has really shifted over time, so I've modified it to match, but the essence is the same. And I believe it comes from the Unity Church, because that's where I've learned it and I've heard it cited there, though I'm not 100% sure. And the prayer goes like this: the light of spirit surrounds me. The love of spirit enfolds me. The power of spirit protects me, and the presence of spirit watches over me. Wherever I am, spirit is, and all is well. And I used to say this to myself when I was little, when I was terrified from a dream or shadows, or, I had maybe watched a scary movie, or, often saw things and heard things when I was younger that I didn't understand, and that adults in my life did not believe me about. So I just worked with Marley to say these and have him just kind of calm down and bring it down to himself. And then the other thing that I did, that he did really, because he has a relationship already with two allies in the unseen world, and these are allies that came to him without any coaching from me. I mean, maybe subconsciously I asked for them to come, but anyhow, they are his allies, and he has names for them, and I won't share those names right now. And I just said, hey, are these two folks around? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I said, well, you can ask. if for them to come closer to help you, to just hang out with you. Now these are already allies that he has a relationship with and feels comfortable and safe with. So I'm not introducing something in this heightened state in the middle of the night. I'm not introducing strangers, unseen guides and spirits, so that he has to practice getting used to them. No, he already has these. For other clients I work with, they have like family members who have passed on, or angelic beings that they already have a relationship with, and they just ask them to come step closer and help to protect them. And they can imagine them in like he does. He likes to imagine them, one of them in a suit of armor with weapons like a spear, and one had a knife, and they have multiple eyes and all this, and so they're all geared up for protection, right? Okay, so this is bringing it into his reality. And the final thing that we did is we said, all right, you are never going to be hurt in your dreams. Just know that. You are always safe in your dreams. Sometimes things might feel scary, but you are always safe. You can never be hurt in your dreams. And then we said, okay, mystery, no scary dreams tonight, okay? No scary dreams tonight, because we have the right to say that. And especially as young people, especially children, have the right to say that and to have control. So it's like giving him control, giving him access to the tools, the allies, comforting, without attaching meaning. The meaning that he may have walked away with came from his own self and from rechecking in. So good. The dream world is alive and awake, and especially right now because the veil is thinning. It's so thin right now. You see that every day as we come in the northern hemisphere. We come to like the Day of the Dead for Latin America, and for and Halloween is big here. It's also All Hallows Eve is the origination for that. It's the days when we honor those folks who have passed. We are feeling that. Empaths, people who are psychic, people who feel things and see things, we just see it even more. So children are so in tune with that. We haven't taught it out of them yet. Hopefully we don't fully. And so they're already feeling it. They're already feeling it and seeing it. So let's just give them the tools to deal with it. I hope this is useful to you. I realize I rambled on a lot, but please share it out if you feel like anyone else could use this information. Have a beautiful day.